Wow. Would you look at
Well,
us? We're
well,
definitely dressed for the occasion.
yeah, I didn't think I'd ever do a podcast in a harness, but you know what? Here we are.
Yeah, I never thought
And if
I'd
you're
be
only
throwing
listening
full
to,
nipple.
yeah, I was gonna say, if you're only listening to the audio version, you might want to watch the visual for this
Yeah, you might
one.
be interested in seeing what we're wearing because
You know, this show, if nothing else, is slutty.
yes, absolutely.
And today we said, you know what? We're gonna lean in a little bit.
Oh yes, absolutely. We're both showing full chest hair. So if you're into that, you might want to
Nothing
go see it.
illegal, nothing dangerous for YouTube, just a little chest hair.
Just a little chest hair. All
Nothing
right, it's
major.
fine.
There's nothing
It's
demonetizable,
yeah.
David. Don't worry.
There's no blurring that needs
Lana,
to
don't
occur.
worry.
Lana will absolutely not watch this episode.
Oh no.
Absolutely not.
No.
Speaking of, hola, 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 and welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real in the tea in reality. You can always come for us to quench your thirst. I'm Eduardo, the Mexican representative of this podcast. I'm here to talk shit and get it on full slut outfit. Full slut outfit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like if I'm wearing nothing, just basically just
Yeah.
lace. Just
And
lace.
I support you with this, Misty. I support
Yeah.
you.
Actually, a drag queen gave me this, so thank you very much.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, so
Better.
it feels right to be wearing it
Correct.
today.
Yes. Love it. Love it, love it,
Yes.
love it. And I'm Logan Murphy, the algo gay. I was wearing this white tank and I was like, you know what? Sure, harness. I have it. I own it. Why not? I felt
Yeah.
like I wanted to be one of the sickers today. You can't be shirtless on YouTube. I mean, you probably can. I'm just not going to be on this channel.
Yeah, we're not gonna risk that.
Like, I don't need that. Y'all don't need that right now.
Yeah.
In this occasion. So, you know, that's all that is. I think there is a picture on my Instagram, which is going to be scrolling on screen right now. So if you want to go see that, sure. But I am drinking some coffee. It's a hazelnut protein coffee because I have a long day today. And this is the first of several many times I will be in front of this screen talking at my camera today. So, yes, caffeine and protein and all that wonderful things. To talk about another interesting episode of this MorbiDrags.
Oh yeah, interesting is definitely the word I would use for this episode because
still really liking it.
Yes,
don't y'all worry. Still really enjoying it.
Yeah, still really good, but some things about this were really interesting, and I'm really excited.
Intriguing, interesting, peculiar, outside of the box, one could say. Opinionated. All of those adjectives.
Yeah, those all feel right. So we'll be talking about episode 2 of MorbiDrags today. But before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All of our other links will be down in the description below. And you can also subscribe to our Patreon down below. It will be down there. And you can get like more content, and you can also get early access to our Look Over Here, which we pair up with all of our reviews. So we will have a Look Over Here soon from this episode. So make sure to check that out as well.
Yes, God.
But yeah. Get your merch as well. I forgot to mention merch. LanaGCreation.etsy.com. You can get your cup merch, your cup mug, your cup bottle, all of your cup needs, I guess. And yeah, let's get into it. So we start the episode by telling the girls that they all smell like literal shit. And you know what? What a better way to start
I was like,
episode.
Ooh, more beefy men. And then I realized, oh, yeah, that's Kovac.
Yeah.
I did some interesting digging. and I found Kovac's Instagram, and I said, "Oh dear God." Woo!
I mean, he definitely lives up to beefy men status. Yes.
Yes.
Make sure to check that out as well, because
if you are a fan of large, beefy, muscular men,
yes,
I
absolutely.
implore you, frankly, go check out Kovac, Midas, and Aravia, for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
All three of them are very attractive.
Oh yes, absolutely. But we get Kovac. Kovac is telling all of the girls that they smell like shit, and
Yes.
then we meet the person, or the animal, I guess, that we were asking ourselves last episode, who was the person that needed to shit inside this pool for this torture to happen. And we get told who it is. It's Scally, this beautiful dog. So yeah, in case you were curious, it wasn't human shit, it was dog shit.
You know
So
what? That's, is there a good outcome to that?
I don't know. I don't know. If you ask me, would I rather swim in human or dog shit?
Yeah. I don't know that I can answer that.
Yeah, I don't think I could either.
Yeah, it's really 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
anyways, that's all
I've
of
lost
Cali
all
that we get to see.
appetite today. My
I
car
lost all
broke
hope in
down.
humanity. I lost all hope in humanity today.
Yes.
Yeah, and also we get confirmation. Finally, this is gonna be a non-elimination season, so all of the girls will be here for the entirety of the season.
For a first season of a brand new show, cool.
Yeah, it works. I'm down.
For the girls that for them all taking a chance on this kind of format, I'm okay with that. I think that's really cool for them to do. If they have the space and, the production budget to do that and have all 11 girls there the whole season, I support it. And I think that's a great move by the MorbiDrags team. So shout out to them. I love it.
Yeah, good job.
It just means our Look Over Here episodes are all going to be basically the same length all season.
Yay!
I'm not gonna lie, I love when they get to be 20 minutes by the end of the season.
Yeah, I always love when
but I love getting to see all of the Morbis the Morbix's full package.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love that. But I agree with you. There's no such joy that when we're recording a Look Over Here and it takes 15 minutes and it's that one episode right before the finale.
Literally this weekend when we do episode 14 of season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race, which you should check out our coverage of season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race available on this channel. This weekend, if there's 2 of us, it's gonna take 10 minutes, and I'm so excited. So
yeah.
But I am very excited for them all to get to show everything that they brought, and I'm interested as well. We'll talk about it more, I guess, and Look Over Here. But I'm really interested to see if we're going to get a lot of this flip-flopping that we've been seeing. Because the girls that didn't do as well last week really showed up and showed out this week. And some of the girls that did really well last week did not rise to the occasion again this week. So I'm really intrigued to see if this seesaw almost situation is going to continue to happen throughout the season.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see who flops and who doesn't. It's always really curious. But we get our challenge today, and our challenge is going to be Leyendas Morbidas, which is just legends. Spooky shit, cryptid.
Spooky shit.
The usual. Has there been a category like this in Dragula? I feel like there has before.
Yeah, they did this most recent season on 666. They did urban legends.
Yeah,
it was,
similar.
Yeah, they did urban legends as part of I believe it was as part of the Dead by Daylight challenge.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was somewhere in the season. I was like, it was either at the beginning or at the.
Yeah,
there's so much drag. Not really right now, but there is so much drag that has happened in the last few years. It was similar.
Yeah, it was somewhat similar. But we also meet we don't meet him, but we get told who our secret special guest judge is, and we're gonna have to talk about him a lot this episode. Omar Crew is our special guest judge.
He certainly is special, and he certainly is a guest.
Yeah, that's for sure. And he definitely judges the girls, that's for sure.
He's certainly a judge.
Well, he is the host of a podcast called Sin Miedo, where he talks about and investigates paranormal phenomena in Mexico. And he is like what's the word I'm looking for? He knows about legends. He really knows about legends. Expert. There you go. He's the expert of legends.
He is the expert on legends and paranormal shit in Mexico. And I love that. And he took his job so seriously. And you know what? I appreciate that. I do appreciate when someone takes their job very seriously.
Yeah. And also you can tell that this man is straight as hell. But
straight as can be.
Yes.
Straight as can be. I'm gonna put a pin in my discussion of Mr. Omar Crew. I'm gonna come back to that later. What I do want to comment on, Miss Dystopia, if you're listening, or if any of her sisters are listening, I know y'all are. Can we get confirmation? Because Miss Dystopia said, "Oh, I didn't like podcasts until I listened to Omar's podcast." I'm like, has Dystopia watched this podcast, and does she enjoy it? I would like to know. I would like confirmation, please. Thank you very much.
Yes, please. Even if the answer is no, we would still like to.
Even if the answer is no, I would also like the knowledge known that everyone thirsted over her last week. So if we could pass that information along, that'd be great.
Yes.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Yes, please tell Dystopia that I am currently single and looking. And
I am also currently single and unfortunately in the United States. So Eduardo is probably the better option.
Yeah, also I am fully around the same age as Dystopia. So hello, how are you doing?
I also am, but unfortunately, as I just mentioned, in the United States. So I understand. I get it.
Yeah. But anyways, let's move on to the torture of the day. Tortura. And so the torture of the day is lengua peluda, which is just, classic trivia about like very classic horror movies. However, while answering, they will be sprayed with piss and balls of hair will be thrown towards them while they're answering.
Now, was it dog hair and was it dog piss?
What they said was that the piss was acquired from the men, the stickers.
Okay, yeah.
So.
And one of them is a pup.
It might have been from the pup. It makes sense if it was from the pup. And the hair looked like human hair. I don't know from whom. I don't know from where. But we're pissing shit. Just pissing shit.
This show is so kinky. Like can we just?
It's
this show. This show is just Tovac's attempt to put kink on YouTube.
Yeah,
through the lens of drag. And you know what?
Good for you.
Fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I love it. I'm a big fan of it. Like, I'm here for it, y'all. I'm here for it. I respect it. I appreciate it. Love it. But I just love that they're just not even hiding it at this point. We've had shit piss, hair, the fisting zone. They're sleeping in a cage with a coat. Like, all of these men are just shirtless. Everyone's in a harness. Rose was naked this week. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Ooh.
But I'm so here for it.
Oh, I love
what the
it.
fuck is this show?
Yeah, if y'all thought that Dragula took it far,
Oh my
this is
God.
far in a very different direction.
But in like the campiest way.
Yeah.
Like they're taking horror to like the extreme camp.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Y'all are doing your big one. I love it.
I mean, there's room for everybody, and there's kinks for everybody. That's for sure. Well, then the torture happens, and I'm shocked by how little these girls know about supposedly classic horror movies. I'm like, hello, hi, what's going on? These questions are so easy. Hello,
baby. Now I'm gonna say this respectfully, and I mean this with very little shade. I'm not gonna say no shade. Yeah. There is a small amount of shade here.
Yeah.
How did Miley get cast on this show? No disrespect, ma'am. No disrespect. You are very talented. You are very talented, Miley. You do a lot of great things that I don't do. Mm-hmm. You are very talented. I don't get it. Well, all respect to you, Miley. All respect to you. All respect to you. I don't get it.
Well, you know, maybe she just doesn't know about classic horror, and she knows about more modern horror, and that's her expertise. Maybe.
Okay.
Who knows? But
because she's the only one. At least C-Facto got one.
Yeah.
Miley, poor baby, didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Did not get anything.
You know, I get it at the same time. Like, you're getting sprayed with piss and you're getting covered in hair. And so it's going to be really uncomfortable. And so I get not being at your best and being a little distracted by the whole thing. But some of these questions are so easy that, like, it was, in my brain, it's almost impossible for you to get none right.
Right. Like, I am not the world's biggest horror movie fan. Mm-hmm. I got some of these right.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And also, since David's not here, I feel like I'm the one that has to be like, hello?
I'm going to echo it because, again, not great at them myself, but go for it.
Yeah, like, absolutely insane. Absolute insanity.
But a lot of these girls did, you know, pretty well.
Yeah, some got around, the majority got around from 3 to 5, and then everyone else.
I wrote them down if you want to know.
Well, of course I want to know.
So the winner overall was Dystopia. Good for you, girl. She got 8. Tied for second, we then had Ambrose and Androhina with 6. Gouda had 4. Setan had 3. Sativa had 3. Anaria had 3. Luxi had 2. Sandovalissima had 2. C-Facto had 1. And then Miley, poor baby.
Miley is pretty. There you go.
Miley is pretty. Yeah, that's the right answer. Miley is pretty. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then what does Dystopia get for winning this torture? Nothing.
Not a goddamn thing except for a half point in our draft.
Yeah, that's it.
So good for you and David?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you both drafted her.
Yeah, literally, not even dystopia gets anything out of this. Like,
Work, bitch.
absolute waste. Like, imagine getting covered in human piss for you to get nothing at the end of that. Like,
right.
You,
Like, I don't get it, but whatever.
I would have been so pissed. Anyways,
Yeah.
And then we go immediately into getting ready for the runway. We go into the dark room to get ready.
No intermediary anything.
Mm-mm.
No bootyful sponsorship.
Thank
No
God.
anything. We are in the dark room, and the lesbianism comes out, honey.
That's what I wrote down. The lesbians are lesbianing fully.
I said the lesbianism, honey.
I mean, everyone's just talking about who they find attractive and who they think is hot.
I mean, it's episode 2. They're a little bit more comfortable with each other. They've been sleeping in different beds with different people. That too. That part's kinky as fuck. Like,
I mean, if I was in that house, I would have already slept with every single person in that house. So
maybe not everybody.
Well, not everybody.
Maybe dystopia.
A lot of, even, like, I would have slept with a lot of these people. I'm going to be so honest.
Well, let's
including
be real.
production.
Most of them are, I was going to say, most of them are probably bottoms. So that wouldn't have been too difficult.
Well, that's something that they were literally talking about. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, someone, I don't remember who, mentions that they think the most attractive people in the cast are like Dystopia, Androgyna, Satan, and C-Facto. And that's kind of the people that we just kind of focus around.
Yeah.
When it comes to who it seems like this cast finds attractive.
Yeah. And then there's this, we get a sharp turn.
Mm-hmm.
And we get this, like, very almost, I'm gonna be honest, it felt almost very sex negative conversation. And the camera pans to Miley and Sativa, and they're both just like, well, the only person that I find attractive is my sister Sativa, but we're both in committed relationships and we're both monogamous, and we're both bottoms, so like it wouldn't work anyway. But
yeah,
it was just like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
Like, again, I don't mean to be shading Miss Miley up in this episode. I'm sorry, Miley. I promise. I like you. I think you're feisty. I think you're fun. I really like you. But this moment here, for me, as someone who is ethically non-monogamous in my lifestyle, this felt very much so like the gays that are like, why can't I find any gays that are just wanting to be monogamous anymore? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it felt like those kind of gays. And no disrespect to those kinds of gays. Love those kinds of gays. Y'all live your lifestyle. Don't come for me for how I want to do it.
Yeah.
I just felt that kind of way. Again, no disrespect to Miss Miley or Miss Sativa here. Love them both.
I will say, for me, as someone that is obviously single, it didn't seem like they were like, ew, I don't like non-monogamous relationships, but it did feel very much like it felt like they knew that they were on screen, that they were being filmed, and that they were like, I cannot talk about who I actually find attractive other than the other person. Yeah, because I have a partner, and I don't want my partner to be like, "Oh, that's weird." But actually, not everyone agrees with this, but because there's some people that are in committed relationships that are fully making out with other people, because they ask Dystopia who they think. No, actually, they ask Androgyna who they think is attractive, and she says Dystopia. And then everyone starts telling them to make out, and so they do. And I can't help but be absolutely jealous. I'm so fucking jealous. This is not fair.
Because they're both cute. At the end of the day, they're both cute.
Yeah, can I join the kiss?
And then the part that killed me is there's a confessional before that of Gouda, and she's just like, I'm available on Grindr, on Stiffies, on everything, and I'm like, Gouda, no, Gouda, I love you, Gouda.
Yeah,
Gouda, I love you, Gouda.
Yeah. Also, Androgyna is a committed relationship, and so she's like, husband, boyfriend, please cover your eyes. Cover your eyes, please. I love you so much. I'm about to make out with this person. Which, is always fun when half of a couple comes up to you and you just start making out, and the other couple is right there. It's happened to me before.
It is fun. Oh, it's also happened to me before.
Yeah, fully. Like, I started.
And then when you make out with the other half of the couple afterwards, that's even more fun.
I didn't get that far, unfortunately, because whatever. But it was a story for another day.
I'm really excited for all the lesbianism we're gonna get this season. I support the lesbianism. Excited. I'm here for the lesbianism. I gotta support.
This is about to become a polycule. Like, absolutely. Like, they're all gonna start fucking each other.
Okay. Our prediction. Who do we think is gonna get in a throuple by the end of the season?
Okay. None of the people that are already in relationships, they don't seem like they want to be. Fuck. Weirdly enough, my guess it's someone like absolutely random. So like Luxi, Sandovalissima, and Aradia. Absolutely random. You would never see it coming.
Okay, I can see that.
And they all look similar. So
yeah. Luxi, Sandovalissima, C-Facto.
I mean, they do need a top, and C-Facto is notoriously a top. So
yes, as we are aware, a top. Yes. So we go to our performance floor for the runway performances. Obviously, we'll talk about them and look over here. But what I want to talk about, Eduardo, is this batshit wackadoodle craziness of judging.
Yeah, it's holy shit.
And okay, I am gonna give another disclaimer, and this time it's not to Miley. Miley, girl, you're safe for now. This one, remember that pin I put Mr. Crew earlier? I'm pulling the pin out.
Here's where we talk about him.
I am going to say this. I mean, no disrespect to this man whatsoever. He is clearly an expert in his field that I know nothing in. I know nothing in. So I mean, no disrespect to him whatsoever towards, frankly, anything he said to these girls. I actually think most of his critiques were very spot on. Based on the fact that he knows what he's doing. He made it very clear, and the girls made it very clear in confessional. They recognize he knows what the fuck he's doing. He didn't know where the fuck he was.
No, absolutely not.
He did not know where the fuck he was. And I'm going to put that actually on production a little bit. I'm going to be honest. Production, y'all are doing a great job with this season so far, 2 episodes in. Major props, great job. I think there needed to be a little bit more of a conversation specifically about letting him know where he was, and that things did need to be altered in order to create a new narrative story for each drag performer and their character that they're creating. Because ultimately, each one of these entertainers created their own new character. Obviously, they are inspired by these legends, but that's exactly what it is. It's inspiration. This is not supposed to be, at least in my perception, and anyone from MorbiDrags, please correct me if I'm wrong, and I am happy to come on and be corrected and be wrong and be strong and wrong here. Happy to be. But the way that I look at it personally, these legends were supposed to be inspiration for then a new character. It wasn't supposed to be a direct copy and paste situation.
Yeah.
If it was a copy and paste situation, this would be a cosplay competition and not a drag competition.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, it feels like they were to take from either one or several different Mexican legends, or frankly, American, because it seemed like some of them were, Southwestern or, other American legends that they kind of pulled from to create their own new, unique characters. I don't know that Omar knew that, because I don't think he really has, I'm going to say, frankly, any experience with drag. It seemed like, at least in my perception. Again, could be wrong. Happy to be corrected. So the ultimate perception that I come away with as a fan is that he was taking everything at face value based on what he was told was one specific legend that each queen was inspired by, and judged according to that. Yeah. Which is not wrong, clearly, because he made the critiques that he did.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the assignment. Based on what we've been told as an audience, the challenge was.
Yeah.
So either he needed to be more prepared to judge a drag competition where this was inspired by legends, or we needed to know as an audience that this was a copy and paste this legend and turn it into a drag legend challenge.
Yeah.
Sorry for the monologue. Okay. I just had a lot to get out because I felt very passionate about it.
No, I agree with everything that you said. It truly did feel like Omar didn't know that this was going to be a drag competition show, and he fully expected like all of the girls to be just as knowledgeable as he is in this field, which obviously they aren't. And it's really tough because most of his critiques make sense. They make sense. But some others, I was like, how are the queens supposed to do a performance like that if like it wouldn't work for this show? They wouldn't really be doing
or
anything.
the
like
stage
one of the,
or the resources that they have.
Like for example, one of the, I don't remember who did it, but one of the legends that we were talking like that they were referencing is about one of like it's like a bride that was killed, and then like
it was Ambrose.
It was no,
because she
someone
had
else.
Oh no, someone that would have been Sandovalissima.
Sandovalissima.
Because she had the dress on, and then she revealed to the bodysuit.
Yeah, and then Omar was telling her like how in the actual legend she just dies, and then she just is like her body doesn't like rot or anything, and then they found her in pristine condition. And yes, that's a legend, but how is someone supposed to do that in a performance? Was she just supposed to get killed and then just lie down? And that be her performance? Like it wouldn't have made sense for
like there needed to be a theatricality to the whole thing.
Yes. And it seems like he half understood that, but also kind of preferred that, like, I don't know, it felt weird. It was
he
confusing.
Wanted everything to be so to the script of what the legend was, that like he felt very like black and white, cut and dry. If it wasn't the exact story, then but again, I just don't feel like he knew the show he was on. Like that's just what it felt like to me.
No, I agree with you. That's what it felt to me as well. But now that we've spoken about Omar, the performances happened. We see every single minute of every single one of them. Unfortunately, sometimes, Some of them were too long, in my opinion, but that's just me. Uh, but yeah, we get the judges' critiques. I don't know. I don't have anything written down about the judges' critiques. I don't know if you do.
I wrote down a good amount.
Mm-hmm.
There were some good, again, no disrespect to any of the other members of the conclave. But Aster came through and just had all the good critiques for me. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. She just had all the good critiques for me, personally. She was talking with Luxie again about just increasing the depth in her makeup, and that's really just going to do a lot of work for her. With Gouda, she just wants her to play with proportion in the makeup. And then Omar made a comment.
Oh.
And said that Gouda played the character instead of like she needed like some floating movements because it was a ghost or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And said that she played it more like a person with a mental problem. At least that's what my subtitles said.
Yeah, no, that's what he said.
Cool. I'm just gonna move on from that because whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Aradia's critiques were so weird because Omar was like, oh, you did so great with the representation of the legend. And then Paradox and Astra were like, we don't like it. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, what?
Yeah, that's what really seemed like. It seemed like when Omar was happy with the representation of the legend, the drag artists were like, I don't like it. But when the drag artists were like,
except for Androhina.
Yeah, except for Androhina. But when the drag artists were like, oh, I like this is drag, whatever. Omar was just like, this is not the assignment. You didn't hit it on the nail on the head. You made so many mistakes, and they're really opposites, really, really absolute opposites, which is wild.
Yeah. I oh, Jesus. I loved Arcana's critique for Dystopia.
Mm-hmm.
Where she was talking about how Dystopia needs a bit more closure to her performance.
Mm-hmm.
Like the performance was good. She just like there was a beginning, there was a middle, and she just needed like something to just wrap up the performance a little bit more. But like the performance was good. I love that critique. Like I love that critique. Asper for C-Facto was like, I love the chiaroscuro you use in your makeup. And I was like, yes, art reference. I live. If you're not familiar, if you're a new MorbiDrags fan, I'm an art history kid. So like, that's my zhuzh. Mm-hmm. So anytime there's like any art or art history references, I'm like, love it. But Astra is challenging her to use some more volumetry in her makeup. And I'm very excited to see what that means for C-Facto. I'm very excited for that. Miley, everything was wrong. They said Miley, everything was wrong with Miss Miley.
Yeah.
Satan, everything was wrong.
Yeah.
The legend was wrong. The mobility was wrong. The outfit was wrong. Everything was wrong. And everybody loved Androhina, which was a great comeback from last week where she was literally in the dungeon.
Yeah, and everyone also loved Sativa, apparently.
Yes, yeah, everyone liked Sativa, even though the guests didn't love the congruence of her character because goblins can't die from eating a mushroom. I was like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like...
Baby, I don't care.
It's very similar to, like, he gave another critique. Who was the witch with the apple? Who was it? Was it fucking...
Oh shit! It was Was it Gouda?
It might have been.
It was Gouda or Luxie, I think.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But whoever it was, too, he was like, "Oh,
it was
yeah,
Luxie.
whatever."
It was Luxie.
It was Luxie. Okay, to Luxie. He was giving this critique, and then he was like, "But you know, these witches, they like they don't eat the apples. They give the apples. They don't eat them and they don't die. And I'm like, she didn't eat it. She at no point ate the apple. She she never ate it. She
She didn't.
cracked it open and
She
black
didn't.
sludge came out, but she
She
didn't
didn't
eat
consume it.
the apple. So
Maybe
why are
you need
we?
to get your eyes checked. Anyway,
Whatever.
So we got after that we find out the Conclave's favorites, and their two convicts, which I realized that's what they were doing last week.
Yeah.
Was they say the two people that they have in the bottom, and then they vote for the person that they want to condemn.
Yes.
Which is actually very nice to know. So in order, left to right, Omar's favorite was Androgyna, Paradox's was Dystopia, Astra's was also Androgyna, and then Arcana's was Sativa. And then from left to right again, Omar's two convicts were Miley and Satan. Paradoxes were Miley and Gouda for some fucking reason. Astra's were Satan and Ambrose, and Arcana's were Satan and Miley. Yes.
So you can clearly tell that there's a couple people that didn't hit the mark. If you want to hear our thoughts about them, go and listen to our Look Over Here. We will tell you if we agree or disagree. We agree. We agree.
Frankly, there's only one of those four in the conclave that actually had some fucking sense.
It's anyway, yes, it was. But before we get told who our condemned queen is, we have to talk about who the Holy Trinity is giving their blessings to or whatever. And Midas kind of changes the game up a little bit, because not only is he giving money to one queen, but he's also giving out a pin randomly. And so
the queen, know what? Sure.
Yeah,
it down. Felt weird for him to not give a pin.
Yeah, it felt weird, but now it also feels weird that he did it, that he's not just now choosing to do it instead of having done it from the very beginning. It's whatever.
It's a season one. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Luckily, this is not as confusing as our last mass. So
truly, nothing is as confusing as Solo Las Mas.
So thank you very much, MorbiDrags. But the queen that's touched by Midas, it's C-Facto, and congratulations. Yay! She gets 5,000 pesos. Congratulations. Go get yourself some tacos. But the person that Midas gives his pin to is to Androgyna. Kovac gives a pin to Dystopia, and Aradia gives a pin to Sativa. So congratulations, Androgyna, Sativa, and Dystopia. You are the winners of this challenge.
You are the winners of this week's Runway Leyendas Morbidas challenge thing. You have a pin. Yes, God Diva. Work. Slay the boots.
The house down legs.
Her. Do we agree?
Yes. Mostly. There's one that I'm like iffy on.
You know? I think I would actually agree.
Yeah.
I have four that were like my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And it's these three plus C-Facto. So like, honestly, my four favorites got rewarded this week, so I'm okay with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there's two of these that are definitely in my top 3.
And not
There's
sativa.
one, and not sativa, unfortunately. Sativa just didn't do it for me.
No,
Sativa
that's
just
fair.
didn't do it for me, unfortunately. But I'm
That's
happy
fair.
that she did well. I'm really happy that she did well. Um, it's just, we will get to it. If you want to
Yeah.
hear why I'm not a fan of it, yet again, look over here. Go check it out. But here's where we figure out who our condemned queen is. And the queen that was condemned by the conclave is unfortunately Satan, which
Ah.
is really,
How?
really unfortunate.
Okay.
She's she like
How?
I don't think she should have been
Not a
condemned.
god. I'm so sorry. Satan, you know I ride for you, girl.
Hmm.
You know I ride for Satan.
Yeah.
I appreciate the Instagram follow, by the way, girl.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I understand that she didn't necessarily fit the brief. She didn't fit the legend. I'm
Hmm.
so sorry. There are several other looks.
Yeah.
There are several other looks
Yeah.
that are not nearly as well put together as Satan's. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
There's
I'm
at least
so sorry.
3
There's
that
at
I would.
least 3.
Yeah.
At least 3 other people
Yeah.
whose looks are not as
So.
good and
Mhm.
whose performances were not as good. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Like, no. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Why? For what reason? In what universe? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No.
Yeah. Um.
Mm-mm.
And here's the moment that I think this is my. I don't know if it's my favorite moment of the episode, but it's definitely like the moment of the episode. It's time to talk about the fisting zone. Uh,
Fisting zone. Bang.
uh, yeah. So we got to the fisting zone, and from the very get go, drama is happening because I
Oh
don't know
my
who this.
god.
Yeah, I don't know who this. I don't remember this person's name. Whoever is hosting the fisting zone.
Anyasik. I
Yeah,
love Anyasik. Shout
Anyasik is
out to Anyasik.
Anyasik really is just stirring the pot. They just want the
They
drama.
they come in one time at the end of the episode. They know what they're here to do, and they just said, let me get my big wooden spoon and stir this pot, baby.
Oh,
Ooh.
absolutely. Um, so this person immediately just says, we get told like the girls still think that Miley isn't dark enough to be in this competition and that she's only here to be pretty. Um, which, wild. And apparently it was Luxie the one that brought it up. And Lord, then we
Messy.
messy. And then we start the vote. And
Oh
then
my god.
very, very quickly, very, very quickly, you can tell that not only have alliances been formed, but we're ganging up hard on one person. Um, and so apparently the girls are ganging up on C-Facto. The girls are just jumping C-Facto left and right, and C-Facto cannot catch a fucking break. Uh, yeah.
I'm gonna be real. It's boring. Like, girls, I'm sorry. It's boring. And if they keep doing this every week, I'm gonna be bored. Like, I get it. I totally get it. But like, I'm bored.
Yeah, the thing about it is, for me, it's not the fact that we're doing stuff strategically. I like the fact that there is some sort of strategic gameplay here. I think that gives it something interesting, absolutely. However, it is unfortunate that Cefacto is one of the more calm and collected queens. And so since we are ganging up on C-Facto, not only does it feel a little bit kind of like ganging up on one of the nice girls, but also we're not getting the drama that we like should get from like moments like this in our reality shows when you gang up on the strongest person, like in the challenge when you get to vote in someone that you think can beat you moving forward.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that like it seems like strategically it makes sense, but when it comes to actually giving us entertainment, voting for C-Facto is one of the more boring things that could happen. And also here in the podcast, and it seems like also to several other people, C-Facto is the fan favorite. So that's also gonna warp our view of how we view this vote. So
it's very interesting, and I think it was Dystopia that brought it up, being like, yeah, just because you have the most followers coming in here, like, doesn't really mean that you're like able to skate by no problem. Like, just because you have like whatever, and like talking about like like, obviously we don't know the whole story, but she was like, oh, don't worry, I have other gigs too. Like, it's not that big of, like, I don't necessarily know, like, we don't know the full lore over it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, this is a really interesting like whole situation going on. Because obviously most of these girls know each other and like work with each other outside of this. So it's like,
yeah, it's really odd. And also half of the girls were I like that half of the girls were straight up and said, hey, C-Facto has a pin. I think C-Facto could beat me. That's why I'm voting for her. And you know what? It's boring, but I get it. The other half of the girls that voted for C-Facto that said that they don't think that she's monstrous enough, that she relies too much on other stuff, and that like the comment about, oh, I don't like the little drawings on your face. It felt very like you are trying to not come across as if you are scared or intimidated by C-Facto, but it's very obvious that you are. And so you're just trying to find any other thing so that you are allowed to vote her.
Yeah.
In your mind. It felt weird. It felt weird.
It felt weird for sure.
It felt weird. But then we don't get any respite. It gets weirder because C-Facto is supposed to be condemned. And so she gets brought up. But guess what? This person that is hosting, I keep forgetting their name.
Anyasik.
Anyasik tells us, I have the power to do whatever I want. And so, congratulations, C-Facto, you are not condemned. In fact, now since you were voted by the other girls, you get to choose who gets condemned. And immediately, the girls call Gregory. They all start saying that C-Facto is being favored by production and that they don't like this.
And I did too. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
I didn't love this.
I was
Love
not
y'all.
looking for
MorbiDrags, love y'all. Love y'all. Big fans. Didn't love this.
Yeah, I didn't love it either, especially because like it's the thing, like it's not gonna matter moving forward. The torture that we're voting for, it doesn't like take away your pen. It doesn't make you like lose points.
C-Facto can put some worms in their mouth for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not gonna kill them.
Yeah, like it's gonna be fine. It's not like C-Facto's gonna actually go home because we're doing a non-elimination thing, and she already has a pin. She already is doing great. She already has won some money, and so it feels very weird to just.
Now, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
If, and this still would have been some riggery, but I would have appreciated this. I would have appreciated it. If they had said, oh, you've been touched by Midas, you're safe. If that had been the twist,
that makes more sense.
That's cute. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, if that had been part of it that was revealed, that's cute. That's fine. But that's not how they did it.
No.
Y'all can have that one if you want. By the way, just give me some credit. Appreciate it. Y'all can have that, by the way. But yeah, it's just like, if they had done something like that, where if they had added it into the twistiness of the game, sure. And I think we all would have lived for that. Like, that would have been something cute. It would have tied in with the twistiness that was already happening. Yeah. Like, it would have been a nice addition to the game, but it's not how they did it. So, yeah.
So, yeah. C-Facto is safe. Yay, congrats to you, I guess.
Like, happy for them, but
yeah, I love you, C-Facto, but like, girl, you could have just put your
was like, even C-Facto was like, I'm not afraid of this. Like, I could have done it.
Yeah.
And I low-key kind of wish they had just been like, I'm gonna pick myself and I'll do it. Like, I kind of wish they had done it, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. But then C-Facto makes their choice, and C-Facto has chosen to condemn Aradia von Rotten, unfortunately.
I mean, she had, 5 people to choose from, so...
I fully thought that she was going to pick Dystopia.
Me too!
Because it did seem like C-Facto was pissed the most at Dystopia for voting for her.
Yeah.
Because, like, when one of your closest friends backstabs you, it only makes sense to backstab them back. And
and I thought, because C-Facto voted for Ambrose.
Yeah.
So I thought she was gonna pick Ambrose.
Yeah.
But and to go through the votes really quickly, Dystopia, Ambrose, Gouda, Satan, and Androgyna all voted for C-Facto. Sandovalissima voted for Sativa. Luxie, the only person with sense, voted for Ambrose. C-Facto voted for Ambrose, the only other person with taste and sense. Androgyna voted for Miley, and then Miley voted for Androgyna because they hate each other. And Sativa
because there can only be one pretty girl here.
Yes. And Sandovalissima returned the vote onto Sativa as well because they hate each other.
Yes.
Because there can only be one tall girl.
Yes.
I don't know. But yes, Setan and Aradia have to transport worms with their mouth.
Going from you have to swim and shit to find some keys, and we are gonna spray you with piss in your face. Going from that to just put some worms in your mouth, like, it feels like a huge step down, honestly. Like,
right.
Like, I would have much rather the torture that we had was like that we had just switched them around, because I feel like this is a lot. Like, it would have made more sense for this to be like, oh, let's cover you in piss now. Like, it would have felt more right, I guess. I don't know. But they have to transport worms from one side of the room to the other, only using their mouths. The person that takes the most, like, in the end, the one that weighs the most wins. And we get 2 minutes of the girls just shoveling worms into their mouths.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
like, that's, you know, yeah, they did it.
They did
They
it, and
accomplished it.
congratulations, Aradia, you have won the torture. Yay! Which does unfortunately mean that Satan will be sent to the dungeon to sleep with the
goat. She shouldn't even be there.
Neither one of the
Neither of
people
them
that
should
was
be
involved.
there. Boo!
Girl,
Boo!
girl, this is wild. This is wild.
Boo!
Yeah, Satan, we're so sorry, girl. We're so sorry that you have to sleep with the goat. But I guess that doesn't affect your chances of winning. Or not for now, I guess, at least. No one that's been in the dungeon has gotten any like disadvantages. We will see, because
I'm
apparently that
curious.
could happen.
Yeah, it sounds like from what. Thank you, queens. Appreciate you all. It sounds like there will start being disadvantages. I think as we start getting into the flow of the season, there will start being disadvantages. So that sounds interesting and fun and interesting. So, you know, sure.
Yeah.
Party, one
Party. Yes.
I have a draft update.
Yeah.
So remember last week how I was leading and then David and Eduardo were tied 2 points behind me?
Yeah.
So now David's leading and Eduardo and I are tied 2 points behind him.
Yes. So a pattern is happening here.
So Eduardo needs to be leading next week, and then David and I need to be trailing behind by 2 points.
Yes.
David's at 30, Eduardo and I are both at 28 points. So.
Yes. Very close. Very close.
Woo.
Woo. Well, I guess that's that. Thank you for watching us review this very interesting episode of MorbiDrags. We will be covering the rest of the season and taking a look at all of the looks. If you want to hear our thoughts, check out our look over here, which will be posted soon after this is posted. But if you want early access, you can also check out our Patreon. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us our thoughts. Do you agree with Omar that all of the girls should have just stuck to the script, or do you agree with us and appreciate the drag performance of it all? Do you think C-Facto should have been in the bottom? Do you agree with the twists that C-Facto should have been safe? Tell us your thoughts. Tell me what you think. All of our links will be down in the description below. We have other channels as well if you want to check them out. If you want to see us talk about many other different things. And the link will be down in the description below, where you can get your merch, alanacheesecreation.etsy.com, where you can get your cup mug, duck not included. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Cheers!
Cheers!